Well, I think, after taking so many classes and preparing for my exams, I thought I was prepared for writing the dissertation, and then once I became ABD, I felt like I was drifting, and I really had no idea how to move forward. And so I think what was so helpful about the dissertation intensive was that we established a daily writing practice, and also we're just told to start writing immediately. I felt like I needed to complete all my research and wrap my head around all my research before I started writing, and that wasn't the case. So I actually wish I would have done this program much earlier, because I would have progressed, I think, much faster on the writing. So that was immensely helpful.
My favorite moment was coming across it, first and foremost, because I've always relied heavily on resources that campus folks have to offer. And I found a community of folks that I know that I related to a lot, and just hearing other folks kind of going through what they were going through, and knowing that a lot of my colleagues are getting through it at varying stages was just gratifying in and of itself, and to know that this can be done wherever you're at. So that was actually really helpful, and probably my favorite part was meeting everyone.
I think for me the favorite moment was that first session where you asked the check-in question, how are you doing at the moment? And just listening around the room and realizing, wow, they feel the same way I do. For me, that was what I needed. It had been a lonely road up to that point. So yeah, that would be my favorite. So thank you. Thank you for offering this. This has been absolutely brilliant. I don't know why the whole campus isn't here, but they should be.
So what was helpful for me was, so I'm going into my 6th year, and I'm hoping to graduate next year. And one of the things that I found really reliable about the space was that, one, you were surrounded by other folks and other peers who were at varying stages, but that didn't interfere with how you found community in that space. What I also enjoyed was not only location, but just the overall friendliness, and the access to resources from the Writing Center was also really helpful. To know that you were surrounded by folks who could offer feedback to your work in that moment that you needed it, because sometimes we don't have access to that right away, and we'll just kind of, it'll feel more of an isolating event than it should be. So that was one of the things that I appreciated, was having staff around to offer my work, and they in return reciprocated with advice.
Moments. Well, of course, the obvious would be turning in that first draft of a complete chapter was a great moment, but I think just the conversations we had with our writing group members, it was just such a neat experience to be in a group with people from other disciplines, but to be able to share ideas, to bounce ideas off of each other, and just to get that feedback. It was really stimulating and encouraging and inspiring all at the same time. And we've said that this is like therapy for us, because in addition to, I think, getting to learning strategies of how to move forward with the dissertation, we were also just learning how to just have more balance in our lives, and to make progress in the dissertation, but also stay sane and make it enjoyable. So that was also really great.
Yeah, I think for me, it was the community, building a community of people who are in the same place I am, a community of people who, in a sense, are experiencing in real time the same things I'm experiencing, the victories, but also the defeats, the feelings of sort of aimlessness at times when you're in the middle of a chapter and you realize, I'm not sure where this is going. And so I think also the best thing was just having that monthly check-in, and having knowing that there's a group of people who are going to be waiting to hear what I have to say about where I am and how things are going in my progress, and the accountability of that is really most important to me. And I think probably the greatest encouragement is the fact that I have a dissertation.
Yay!